So, physically evolving systems that have rules that lead to the emergence of more complicated systems based on these rules. And those systems are governed by the physics of that system, and the physics are based on the parameters or the rules of the lower dimensional system. So while you are influencing the result by changing the parameter, there is a whole set of laws that you have to understand in order to predict what you're going to get, what the outcome is going to be with your changing of the initial parameters. So if everything comes to be at once, kind of like sparkles, and then keeps going until you start to notice patterns in the flickering after it's filled up the whole visual field, when you tweak the settings of how those, sparks come to be, you're in turn changing the phase that governs the outcome of whatever's plugged into this higher dimensional portion of this system. And like with the universe, eventually being able to discern yes and no from everything, we can only presume that what happened was, something that changed its parameter from its initial setting to a setting that has, a distinction between the level at which, parameters are being input versus the level at which the outcome is achieved based on whatever physics are available based on the parameters of the lower dimensional system. And so, really, really fancy way of saying, like, in topography or topology, sorry, I'm always switching those. You look at quantum chromodynamics. What you have is red, yellow, blue. Okay, fuck it. Look at a TV, you have red, yellow, blue. Okay? And so these can be on, off, they can be bright, dim, and so when they are connected to something that is feeding information into a space, the way that information behaves is going to be based on, what emerges from those initial settings. Red, dim blue, and dim yellow. Okay? Dim blue and red make a half dim purple. Okay? Dim yellow and red make a half dim orange. And so now you see where this is going, because every combination of this is going to describe the physics of the system that you're plugging information into to get these patterns. So I'm wondering like how far away